What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Mustard, finally back with another video. And for today's horror game, we here to play For Those Who Remain. I think it's called Those Who Remain. Very interesting game there is. Pretty much beginning of the game, yeah, you were about to since I can't really say this because it's YouTube. You was about to, off yourself. I guess that'd be the best way to say it. You was about to, do the dirty deeds to yourself. And yeah, instead of you doing that, I think you were like cheating on your wife or something like that, So you were going to a hotel to go tell your mistress it's over. You couldn't cheat on your wife no more. You was like, who am I, bro? Like, let me cook. So you go cook or whatever, in the hotel, and then you find out that, your mistress isn't there. You get your car stolen, and then you kind of have to walk your way back, and then you kind of get put into pretty much another person's storyline. You end up becoming the main character of another person's story pretty much, bro. But it's your story at the same time. So come here, let me cook. So you in this town, right? You gotta, since it's a horror game, of course you gotta figure out the puzzles and the keys to go on to the next level. But you gotta stay out of the darkness. See, the darkness got I'm gonna call them demons, bro. I guess like they the shadow people, bro. You go in that dark, they killing you. They got pitchforks, they got knives, they got everything, and you can't do nothing about this, by the way, either. Like, you just gotta stop the dark. Like, that's the whole purpose of this game. So the more you go through these levels, it turns out that there's a story. In the city, which, by the way, I honestly forgot the name of the city. Joke's on me. Anyways, when you start the story, really, you'll find out that there's a girl named Annika. She used to live in the city. She was new to the city or whatsoever, and you pretty much figure out how she dies, because she pretty much curses the city, and you're pretty much figuring out how she dies. Now, on your way of journeying out and figuring out all these puzzles and stuff like that, it turns out that there are a lot of people that was caused to her death. There was a boy and his friends who went to her school who used to bully her. And they only used to bully her because the boy who was the main, the main child of his friend group or whatever, his brother died. So I guess since his brother died, he used to bully on Annika, bro. And pretty much one day he drove, I think she was riding her bike home at night, and he caused her to ride off a cliff and kill herself or something like that. Off herself. My bad, YouTube. Don't copyright YouTube. I'm sorry. Anyways, you have to pick or choose rather you want to forgive him or condemn him. The choice is yours, though. You are now making the choice of rather these people live or they die. And that's where the story becomes very interesting, because Annika helps you along the way. Whether you forgive or condemn them. Now, this is very interesting how you do these choices, because this is one of those games that it actually has an effect for you doing that. But anyways, you end up being chased by this, I really want to call it the mimic from zombies, from Call of Duty Zombies, because that's what it looked like, bro. I'm sorry, I do. But at the same time, you're telling your story too. You're trying to you also learn about a little bit about your character and why you are the way you are, and how the beginning of the game is the way it is. So pretty much for you, you were going home one night, you had your wife and your daughter, and it was dark on the road, and you got into a car crash, and your wife lived, and it wasn't like a she didn't forgive you type of thing. It was more like a you couldn't forgive yourself, because your daughter ends up dying from a car crash, and you couldn't forgive yourself. But the other person in the car crash, you completely really forget about necessarily, and she's kind of like the little mimic that follows you around and try to stop you from completing the puzzles of the game or whatever necessarily. With that being said, you go out through the game condemning people. There's the mailman that you gotta condemn. He's part of the little boy that I was talking about earlier in the video. He's like his cousin or something like that. The police officer plays a part into it by covering up evidence, and you kind of have to condemn them. So pretty much people in the town play a very big part of Annika's death, and you have to either forgive or condemn them. Now, pretty much, you know, when Annika, after she dies, her mother, you kind of go to her mother towards like relatively towards the end of the game, and you do figure out that she couldn't really get over the death of her daughter. So she you know, we did the circle, bro. We did the circle, bro. Like, y'all already know what it is. She did the little demonic circle thinking that, you know, maybe I'm gonna get the spirit of my kid back. I don't know why everybody do this. Like, I don't know why they think that this is gonna work. It never do. She thought it was her daughter, but it turns out to be this demonic presence called Daizenja. I don't know if I'm saying that right. You know, interesting names that these people be having. Sorry, y'all. Or demons, I should say. And yeah, he's pretty much the dude that you see, the little skeleton that you see throughout the game, who pretty much be like, hey, forgive or condemn the people that you do. But, you know, you have to run from her mother too, because her mother's like mad. So like what y'all seeing in this video right now, I'm actually really running from her mother, who's like lost her mind from not having her daughter. But you do get to, you know, be in Annika's house and kind of understand what her mom go through and pretty much why she went crazy. I mean, it's literally self-explanatory. Like, she doesn't have her kid anymore because, you know, people in town are assholes. Like, I'm sorry. Like, YouTube don't do me dirty, but it is what it is. But pretty much you have to do this about, I'd say, I think it's like 7 people who you can forgive or condemn. And pretty much at the end of the game, now, like I said before, forgiving and condemning these people are very interesting for the end of the game, because there's 3 endings. Now, the ending I got was the nightmarish ending, which I wasn't expecting it. It really threw me off. Yeah, I did not think that none of these people needed to live, because they pretty much either covered up evidence or did the best they could to, you know, get rid of Annika's case, or, you know, pretty much forget about her as a, you know, person, I guess. So, yeah, I got rid of everybody. Like, I wasn't doing it. So, you know, at the end of the game, I pretty much become one of the shadow people. Like, the demon, he pretty much makes me one of the shadow people, and I can never really leave the realms, because I almost forgot, there's 2 realms in the game. It's like the regular world, and then there's like another realm. I think it's like a ghostly realm or something like that. No, never really understood that necessarily, but yeah, I become one of the shadow people. Sucks, but the bad ending's kind of funny. So in the beginning of the game, when you were going to go see Diane, your mistress, yeah, when you come back from the bad ending, apparently you shot her, and you get arrested by the police. Like, deadass. So I was like, that's crazy. And you know, the good endings, pretty good, I guess. They give you a second chance, and they say you're a good person. You go outside and the sun's shining and it's bright, then you go home and see your wife after probably having one of the most traumatic experiences of your life. So I mean, I don't know how good that ending really is, but I mean, hey, it is what it is. But there's not really much bad to take away from this game, other than the gamma really sucked for this game. I don't know why. Load screens were like abysmal. Like, I don't know why they were like so long. It felt like I was playing a 360 game. Like, honestly, I'm not really gonna joke around to graphics too much. They weren't really that bad or whatever. But all in all, it wasn't a bad game. Oh yeah, and I felt like the sensitivity just never really clicked in with me too. But you know, it was like small things. It wasn't like super big things that I really had negatives with this game. But honestly, the game starts off slow and it got better as time went on. So my final verdict for the game is gonna be a 7 out of 10. It wasn't bad, but the gamma was bad. I will say that. Like, I guess I'll say I would try to say it was small, but the gamma was pretty bad. Like, Jesus Christ, I couldn't either. You can't see, or like, I couldn't see most of the time, which was just bad. So like I said, 7 out of 10, y'all. So that's it for me, y'all. So Until next time, I'm out.